the one kid was getting off track because he was drinking a lot and, getting in trouble and all that sort of stuff. And I noticed that every time I saw him, he was talking about, going out partying and at the end of the night having wrestling matches with all his friends and just like getting into these sort of physical fights with people. And he was always beating up on his younger brothers. Like every time I saw him, he was like, they were just always physical with this thing. And one day, like, we're trying to solve all the other stuff.
The academic stuff.
Yeah, just, everything else. And I thought to myself, I just said to him, I said, and his whole goal in life was to be popular and party and all that stuff. And I said, I don't know if partying is your goal in reality. I feel like your real goal is that you want to fight. Like, that's what you actually want to do. Like, what you really want to do is not drink and like hang out with your friends. It's you want to drink so you can beat them up at the end of the night and get into these like aggro. Every night ended in aggro. And I researched. I said, there's a UFC gym like 4 minutes from your house. Go take a class. 16-year-old, go take a class. Mm-hmm. Takes a class. Loves it. Is now there like 3-4 times a week, having the time of his life. Drinking went way down. Everything got back on track. Got a job to fund the UFC thing. Like everything's fine.
Wow.
No more beating up the brothers. Why didn't he need to? He can beat up anyone.
Just need an outlet.
Just need an outlet. But what parent's going to say, go fight, after school? It's just, they're not going to do it. It's stuff like that where I just feel like sometimes kids need to be seen for who they are.
The third party piece is really important, right? Like I can get not anyone, but almost anyone to change behaviors.
Yeah.
Sometimes, except for the people closest to me, right?
Yes.
Because to them, I'm just Tim. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can develop a selective deafness around the people you're closest to. So then when you have a third party who's credible, there's a lot of leverage there.
Well, even I was thinking about teenagers, right? Let's say you have, and this I told parents this many times, and most of the time they didn't listen, but I gave them the secret, which was when your kid takes initiative and does something on their own, like they start making their bed, or they start working out, after school, do not mention it. Don't say, oh, it's great you made the bed, or that's so cool that you're working out. Do not. Then it's your thing. That means every time they're going to go make the bed, they're now thinking of your approval, and little by little, it's going to stop them doing it because it's now become your thing. Leave it. It's their thing.
How many kids have you tutored over the years, would you say?
Oh, God. At least a few hundred.
Few hundred.
Yeah, probably a few hundred. I miss it, but also I got the connection through the books. And also what's funny is I started doing writing camps where I got hosted by writing camps. And there was always a curriculum that they wanted us to teach or whatever. And I would just go in there and do my own thing. And the first thing I would work on with each kid is when you write, you need to know what your characters want. And you need to know at the deepest basis level. Let's say a character wants to play lacrosse, right? Like that's it. He wants to be a champion lacrosse player. That's where most people will stop. But you need to ask, well, why does he want to be a champion lacrosse player? In order to please his
Why
dad.
does he want to drink? That's not enough. It's because he wants to fight at the end of the night.
Fight. And why does he want to fight at the end of the day? You have to keep going down until you hit a base level. Like, is he trying to save his self-esteem? Is he trying to prove something to his family? Like, whatever it is. And then on the second day, after we work on that with characters, I do that for themselves. So the teenager, I'm like, what do you want? In front of the class. So there's usually 12 people. And that's when you start to get somewhere.
Man, I feel like I could use that exercise now.
But that's how, for college essays. So my specialty when I was tutoring was college essays. I used to go in there and help them come up with the perfect essay topic. All I needed was 3 days with them, and I would spend 3 days asking that question over and over and looking at pieces of their life and us talking about it until we came up with what do you want and why do you want it, and then making the essay from there.